John and Sarah had been married for 8 years. They were considered an ideal couple. John was a successful businessman who worked tirelessly to provide his family with every comfort in the world. Sarah was a devoted wife and a loving mother, ready to sacrifice anything for her husband and children. But over time, John's success and business commitments had drawn his attention away from Sarah and the children. Sarah felt broken inside. Despite her sacrifices, she felt that John saw her as just another obligation rather than an important part of his life. One day, Sarah decided to talk to John. "John, I know you're busy, and it's hard to manage everything at home on my own. I think I need some help, especially for the kids' school transportation and a few errands. Could we hire a driver?" John thought for a few moments and then said, "If you feel you need it, that's fine. But the person should be someone we both can trust." "I trust you, Sarah, and I respect your decision." With his permission, Sarah contacted a driver service and chose Mike. Mike was a polite and intelligent young man whose face was always lit with a smile. Sarah liked his confidence and politeness, and she started having him handle small household tasks. Mike's words had a strange charm. He understood Sarah's loneliness and took the time to listen to her thoughts. Sarah felt as though someone truly understood her, and Mike's presence lightened the weight on her heart. She knew it was wrong, but at that moment, it gave her comfort. In a few months, the bond between Sarah and Mike grew informal and closer. Sarah found peace in talking to Mike, and in his presence, she began to forget her sorrows. She knew she was doing something wrong, but she could not ignore the comfort of the moment. Sarah's heart was shattered from within, and Mike's words filled the emptiness inside her. Mike told her that he understood her pain and that he would always be there for her. This emotional connection became a new path for Sarah, one that seemed easy for her to follow. One day, John, who was engrossed in his business commitments, came home early. He had an odd sense of unease in his heart and wanted to find comfort at home. As he opened the door, he immediately noticed Sarah's car parked outside. It was unusual because Sarah was usually not at home at that time. John opened the door, and an odd feeling stirred within him. As he approached the room, he heard laughter from inside. John's heart sank. He opened the door to find Sarah and Mike sitting on the sofa, laughing. There was an unusual intimacy between them. John was stunned. He knew Sarah. She would never do something like this. But the scene before him was a shock. John's composure broke. He immediately moved toward Mike, grabbed him by the collar, and said, "How dare you? I trusted you." Fear flickered across Mike's face as he tried to free himself. John's eyes burned with a mix of anger and pain. "What kind of behavior is this? What have you turned my wife into?" he yelled. Sarah cried and said, "John, stop it. It's all my fault." John pushed Sarah aside and said, "Your fault? You betrayed me, Sarah. I trusted you, and you broke that trust?" Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she sobbed. "John, I didn't do this intentionally. I was lonely, you were always busy with work, and Mike listened to me. He understood my pain, and I felt it was okay to spend time with him." A bitter, painful smile appeared on John's face. "You only realized your pain when you neglected your husband?" Taking a deep breath, John said, "Love and trust go hand in hand. You didn't value my love, and you did all this behind my back." His heart felt shattered, but he controlled his emotions and told Mike to leave the house immediately. The last time Sarah spoke to John, her eyes were filled with regret. "I'm sorry for what I've done, John. But now, nothing can change." John, with a broken heart, said, "This might be the beginning of a new life for you, but there is nothing left between us." He placed divorce papers in front of Sarah. This story teaches us that relationships are built on love, trust, and attention. If even one of these elements is lacking, the relationship can crumble. Betrayal is never a solution to a problem. It only complicates and destroys the relationship further. Honesty and integrity are essential for any relationship to remain strong and lasting.